Good afternoon, dear students. Today we'll discuss physiology of receptor part 2. In the previous lecture we have learned regarding different types of receptor, their classification, and we have seen that there is coding of sensory information. So today just we'll try to uncode the sensory stimulus which is arriving to the body. So we're learning today's lecture under its objectives. In the decoding, modality, location, intensity, duration, and two laws and principles are there, that is level line principle and law of projection. So let's discuss this. First aspect, that is modality. Now what is the modality? Is basically it's type of energy transmitted by the stimulus, whether it is a touch, pain, temperature. See, brain is only receiving action potential, as we are told in the last lecture or in the previous one. Whenever there is stimulus to the receptor, there is generation of action potential which will be going through synapse to the sensory nerve, then synapse to the ascending tract, then it will reach the brain. So everywhere it is only neuron and synapse, and only there is exchange of action potential. And ultimately what energy initiated, whether it was a touch, pain or temperature, so that has to be differentiated. So first we have differentiation is basically 4 basic class of receptors are there based on their sensitivity to one predominant form of energy. So whatever receptors are there, they will get stimulated by any stimulus, but they are more sensitive to particular energy only. For example, it is a touch receptor, it will get stimulated by temperature as well as the pain, as well as any other also, but it will have a lowest sensitivity for the highest sensitivity for the touch. So threshold is lowest for that one. Small stimulus of touch will stimulate that one. Similarly, pain will be stimulated by the touch also, but sensitivity for the pain is only through that modality. So the stimulus can be mechanical, it can be a thermal, it can be electromagnetic, or it can be a chemical. The particular form of energy to which a receptor is more sensitive is called its adequate stimulus. So each receptor has got its adequate stimulus that only will stimulate the receptor, but others also can do it, but it will be more sensitive to that one. For example, vision, okay, it is stimulated only by a light which is falling on rods and cones. But if you close your eyes and press, what will happen? Because of the pressure, again there is stimulation, you will see some light will be there even if you close eyes. So that means that receptor is getting stimulation by the pressure also, but the sensitivity is more for the least for the pressure and highest for the light. So when light is falling, small quantity of light will stimulate rods and cone, but for stimulation of rods cone through other modality we need more amount of stimulus. So that means each and every receptor has got a adequate stimulus for a particular energy. So adequate stimulus for rods and cones in the eye, for example, is a light, but you can stimulate by the other also. So like this, each and every receptor is specific for particular modality only. So that modality means a type of energy transmitted by the stimulus. Now second concept is that how you localize that from where it is coming. Now in the last lecture I have told that in this spinal cord we are having dermatomes. We are having different segments are there. Right from C1 to coccyx we are having 31 pairs of spinal nerve either side. From each and every segment a root nerve is arising. So area of innervation by individual root is called as a dermatome. Now we'll go further to that one. Each and every of this root will have again, it's nothing but bunch of nerve fiber. Individual nerve which is arising from suppose C1 or T8, it's bunch of nerve fiber. But so each and every nerve fiber like this will have a specific area of innervation also. Like this you can see in here I have shown This nerve is having 3 branches. Now area innervated by individual sensory nerve fiber. This is called as sensory unit. Mind well, these two things are different. Sensory unit and dermatome. Dermatome is area innervated by one spinal nerve, maybe T1, T2, T3, and sensory unit is area innervated by a single nerve fiber. A single nerve fiber is collecting from a particular area. So it is arising from a particular receptor. So this is called as sensory unit. So the term unit is applied to a single sensory axon and all its peripheral branches. If a skin is carefully mapped, millimeter by millimeter, with a fine hair, a sensation of touch is evoked from a spot overlying this touch receptor. So, touch receptor is there. It is connected to a single sensory unit. So, whole area will get stimulated to that one only. Means when you stimulate that area, will get a touch sensation. None is evoked from intervening areas. So, if you are not touching that area, you will not get touch sensation. But mind that it is only by millimeter, very fine micromillimeter. By our single finger or other thing, we cannot differentiate. We need a specific stimulators are needed to find this one. Similarly, temperature sensation and pains are produced by stimulation of skin only over the spot. So we are whole bodies having big spots of sensory unit. On that you will have millimeter to millimeter differentiation of different areas. If you are stimulating touch area, you will get touch sensation only. If you are stimulating the area where the pain receptors are located, you will get only pain. In other areas you will not get pain, but it is very millimeter or micrometer differentiation is there. Only by very small electronic stimulators we can find this. So this is the one concept for the location. Other I will discuss afterwards. So one more is very important is there, which is very broad and easy to understand. Now third differentiation is how much is the intensity. So two we have discussed now. First is what type of energy it is, that is the modality, whether it is a touch, pain, temperature. Second is from which area it is arising, that will again differentiate whether it is a touch, pain or temperature. Third is intensity. Now it depends on basically number of action potentials generated from that receptor. For example, now here we are using a glass probe to poke the skin. So if you poke the skin mild, what happened now? See, it was simply touch. So there is no stimulation there. Now we can see we have just applied some pressure here, you can see. So now there is number of action potential have increased. Now brain will interpret this as a mild stimulus. As you can see, number of stimulus coming here is roughly 7 or 8 are reaching the brain. Now if you increase the intensity, now you can see. So here only one branch was stimulated. Now here two branches stimulated. So what will happen because of this now? Number of stimulus have increased now. Number of generation of action potential is now here doubled. So brain will interpret this as a more intensity. So here it was a mild intensity. Here it is a moderate intensity. Now third one, if you give further stimulation, now you can see more number of stimulus will again, there is more action potential now. In this way, if you are applying, you are increasing the intensity of the stimulation, there is increase in number of action potential generated at the receptor as well as the nerve. And finally, because of this, what will happen now? You can see a train of impulses going. Now this is the way the brain differentiates here from mild, moderate to severe. So intensity will go on increasing with increase in number of action potential generated from the receptor. So this is the third way of differentiation of the stimulus. Modality, what type of sensation it is, location, from which area it is arising, that will again decide whether it is touch, pain, temperature. Third one, by the number of action potential reaching the brain will interpret this as a mild, moderate and severe categorization. So this is the intensity, frequency of action potential in a single axon, more receptor into the receptive field. That means if you are giving more stimulation, more number of receptors will get stimulated, more action potential will come. Now fourth, that is the duration. If you are applying the stimulus for some period of time, the neurons have got a natural tendency to stop sending the impulses. So when a maintained stimulus of constant strength is applied to a receptor, the frequency of action potential in its sensory nerve declines over a period of time. This phenomena is known as adaptation or desensitization. This is a very important property of nervous system. The receptors on the neurons adapt. If the stimulus remains for some period of time, you get adapted to that one and you stop getting the stimulus. Now receptors again can be classified based on their duration of adaptation. First is rapidly adapting or phasic receptor. Means if you apply a stimulus, after some time you don't get the sensation. These are called as rapidly adapting receptor. Receptor adapts immediately. And slowly adapting autonomic receptor, they take a long period of adaptation. Again we classify based on this category. So rapidly adapting receptor or Meissner's and Passion's corpuscle, these are for the touch. This is basically a blessing. So if you are wearing the cloth, you get a sensation, but the clothes are continuous on your body. If you are continuously feeling the touch, you will get distracted. So it's nature's blessing, Almighty's blessing that you get adapted to that one. You don't get distracted by constant touch from your clothes. So that is an adaptation of this receptor. Smell, you can see. You apply to any fragrance or any perfume, immediately you get a sensation of the perfume. After some time you stop getting that one. That is because of again adaptation of the smell receptor to that sensation. Slowly adapting receptors are basically Merkel cells and Ruffini's ending. Sensory adaptation appears to have some value to the individual. Light touch would be distracting if it is very persistent. Conversely, slow adaptation of spindle input is needed to maintain posture. Muscle spindle is there. They are constantly sending impulse to the brain regarding their body position. So the moment you change the position, immediately they will get. So if they are adapting, it will begin difficult. So they are slowly adapting. Only when you stay for long period of time, they get adapted. But constantly, you need to change the posture. So they are slowly adapting. So these are slowly adapting receptor. So this is the differentiation of receptor. You can see the joint. This is the red for the joint sensation. You can see here, this is the dotted line Passion corpuscle. They are adapting immediately. The remaining you can see here are adapting slowly. So like this they are changing adaptation. Passion are rapidly adapting. Hair cell are a bit less. Muscle spindle now least is the joint receptor. And still least is a pain receptor, which are very low adapting, because again that is a blessing. If you adapt a pain receptor, that is dangerous to the body also. Person should know that something is disturbing him, so pain receptor has to be least adaptive. So here you can see, now from the skin now, one more concept is that will again differentiate our type of sensation. 4 we have discussed now: modality, location, intensity and the duration. So based on this 4 also the brain is differentiation. Now the 5th one is that right from the receptor up to its destination, pathway is basically fixed. So it was observed that during neurosurgical operation, one of the surgeon while doing operating observed that when he had opened the spinal cord, he touched a nerve fiber or the tract. Patient said, "You are pressing." So actually he was touching, but the patient was getting sensation of press. Then he put up the scalpel on another one. For example, on this, patient said, "You are giving me pain." Actually he was only touching it. So that means that from that the concept arises. There is a fixed pathway right from the receptor up to the termination in the cortex. So wherever in the pathway, if you are giving any stimulation, the person will get response to that pathway only. If you are giving stimulation to this pathway and if this pathway is for the pain, you will get a pain, even if you are touching it. So this is called as labeled line principle. There is a fixed line right from the receptor up to the termination of the cortex. So you can see all the pathways are fixed. So if you are giving stimulation to this pathway, person will get a position sense as it is arising from the joint here. So this concept is called as labeled line principle. That means there is a fixed pathway right from the receptor to the termination in the cortex. So this is called as the specificity of nerve fiber for transmitting only one modality of sensation is called as labeled line principle, also called as Muller's doctrine of specific nerve energy. So each and every nerve carries specific nerve energy only. You give stimulus of any modality, but sensation will be perceived to that pathway only. For example, from Mumbai to Agra, you are going on the highway. So you use any vehicle, whether you are going in a two-wheeler or four-wheeler or a truck, destination will be Agra, because that pathway is fixed for the Agra only. It is arising from Mumbai going to the Agra. So if you are traveling on a Mumbai-Agra highway with any type of vehicle, whether it is a car, whether it is a scooter, whether it is a cycle, whether it is a heavy vehicle, you will reach only Agra only if you just follow the pathway right from the origin to termination. Similarly, in the body, in the brain, right from the destination up to termination, you will have a fixed pathway. So this is called as a labeled line principle. So this is the fifth way of decoding sensory information. Whatever impulse reached here will be perceived as the sensation. So this is called as a labeled line principle. Now one more is there. In this sensory cortex, whole body is having a representation in the cortex. Here you can see it is labeled. You can see these are the area for the lips. See how much area it is, upper lip and lower lip. This is the area for the finger. So like this, whole body is having representation there in the cortex, right from the head to the toes. And this is called as sensory homunculus. Homunculus means small man. Homunculus means small man. So there is a small man in the cortex. Now these are the basically destination for particular area also. If a sensation is arising from the thumb, so it will reach this area only. It will reach thumb area only. If the sensation is arising from the lip, in the lips, on upper lip, it will reach this area only. So when the impulse is reaching this area, person will feel the sensation that it is arising from upper lip only. So this body representation, the whole body projection is there. That's why wherever in the pathway, if you are giving a stimulation, whether you are touching the spinal cord, whether you are touching the ascending tract or wherever, the moment it reaches here, only then only you will feel the sensation. So here you can see in this, for example, here we are giving stimulation to the you can see stimulus is arising from the left thumb, left great toe, and he has reached the cortex now. So now what is happening, wherever in the pathway, suppose you are giving, so it will reach the cortex. Now suppose you remove the limb now. So what will happen now, even if you remove the limb, I will tell you one observation by some of how this concept came. In the army, so many people are there who lose any of the limb during war, or there are some patients, they have to suffer an amputation. So what happened actually, one day a patient came to a army physician and he was complaining that he is having pain in his right great toe. So when the doctor inspected, he found that there is a abony amputation to that person, and actually there is no great toe. He was having artificial limb, but he was complaining that I am having pain in my right great toe. So from that a concept came that what is happening when this limb is removed. So actually there was a continuity of this nerve like this, but when this is cut now, what is happening? This part of the nerve is there, which is normal not exposed. Now it is being covered by the skin after amputation. Okay. So but what is happening? There is a constant touch to that nerve because of the skin overlying that one, and because of that there is stimulation, impulse arising and reaching the destination, that is of grade 2. So now this is the area of grade 2. So patient is feeling impulse arising from grade 2. So this is called as law of projection. So whole body is projected in the cortex. So anywhere in the pathway, if you are giving stimulus with any energy, person will perceive sensation to that area only. So if you are touching this left hand, sensation will be perceived only if it is reaching the left hand area in the cortex. So this is called as law of projection. Now based on this, people who are lost their limbs or any part of the body, if they are complaining, that is called as phantom limb. His limb is absent but he is getting sensation to that area. So this is the called as law of projection. Now based on all these 6 modalities, we are encoding sensory information. First is modality, that is type of stimulus which is giving a response. Maybe touch, pain, temperature. So we are having different receptor specific for that sensation only. Location, it is based on the sensory unit. We are having millimeter, micrometer by micrometer differentiation of sensory area. So there is a separate area for touch, pain, temperature. So if you touch that area only, you will get sensation of that energy. Intensity will be based on number of action potential arising from the receptor, and based on the duration, adaptation is there, and there is a level line principle. That means right from the receptor termination in the cortex, there is a fixed lining is there. And 6, that is law of projection. Whole body is projected in the cortex. So if you touch any part of the cortex, you will get sensation to that part of the body. For example, Broadbent has observed that during the neurosurgical operation, they have opened the skull and they were doing some activity. They were doing some removal of hematoma. But in that, when they touched one area, patient said, why you are lifting my upper limb? Why you are touching my grade 2? Actually, nobody was touching that one. So what they observed that if you touch and if you give stimulus to any area in the brain, person will get response to that area from where the receptor is arising. So whole receptors are projected in the cortex. So here we are finishing the receptor 2 and coding of sensory information. Thank you. So here we are finished.